Martin, we're recording. Ha 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 ha.
At last.
We've already had an amazing and fantastic conversation, including things about the reference to your book, sort of Beyond Laughter, and the fact you've started a new podcast, and how and how the laughter and your own laughter journey has, it has kind of opened a door for you, so through your yoga practice as well, to bliss and joy and these other, however we want to describe it. But how would you describe it? What is what is joy to you, Martin?
Yeah, Joe. First of all, it's wonderful and a privilege just to be here today and just to chat. We've been chatting
Yep.
so wonderfully already.
Yes. Yes.
Joy for me is a really important aspect because joy is so much more than happiness.
Yep.
People think happiness is what it's all about, but it's not.
Yep.
Happiness for me is something that happens. It's very fleeting, and
Yep.
and and you get it. Like, I want to buy a new car or I want to buy a new house, then I'll be happy. One day
Yep.
when I marry, I'll be happy. And we
Yep.
get to that stage, and eventually we find, no, but this happiness is not there anymore, and we'll start searching for something else. And it's always
Yep.
this constant search and search, inner yearning that we have. Whereas joy is something that comes from within, that you can
Yep.
just experience in a moment. And the first place that I really started feeling that was during a laughter session, right? Where I could
Fantastic.
feel that real joy. There's nothing to have, nothing to change. That's
Yep.
that's in Afrikaans, my language, my home language. We call it binnepret, which means like it's inner joy that we have,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
And it's something that you cannot teach somebody. They have to experience it. But it's in the
Yes.
moment. So it's not in the past or future. You have it right now. And that is, for me, is a big difference.
Yes. Yes. That's lovely. So it's an inner experience, and it's in the moment, and it's something that we have to realize. We have to make that journey ourselves. No one else can do it for us. We have to go there and experience it ourselves. Is that
Yeah,
um
absolutely. And isn't that wonderful? Because it's a self-discovery, and
Yep.
once you experience it, you keep it with you. It's like a piece, it's a very precious thing, like gold or diamond, and you realize that's within me. And you don't really have to have you're not getting it from somebody else or from an
Yep.
external thing. The joy that I'm experiencing right now is my experience, and it's fantastic. I'm at peace with it, and I feel whole. That
Yes.
to me is the
Yes.
joy.
Yes. And so, how important, the second question is, how important is joy to you, Martin?
Joy to me is basically my driving force when I get up in the morning. I try to think, how can I make my life more joyful, right?
Yeah.
And it's not always laughter, as you know.
No, no. Yep.
I always, in the beginning, when when people speak to Maran Kataria, they always used to say, "Yeah, but surely you can't be happy all the time and laughing all the time." And there's one thing that I remember he said. He says, "No, there's a time for laughter, there's a time for seriousness, a time to do your work and all that, and it fits in. But in between, if you find that you can find the joy in whatever you do, and it doesn't have to be a specific thing, just the joy of working in the garden. And for
Yep.
me, as the joy comes to mindfulness and connection,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Being in that moment and be mindful of feeling the soil, smelling, engaging the senses, that brings that inner joy that I've always tried to pass on to people in whatever work I've been doing, whether it's through the yoga or the laughter or whatever.
Yep. Yep. So, if it's a positive sort of intention at the start of your day every day, that means it's quite important to you, then, Martin.
Well, the way that you put it, Joe, yeah, yeah, no, it is. You know, I let me answer this way. When I was in second last year of high school, My dad was a bank manager all his life, very staunch,
Yeah,
very black and white. I
yeah,
was always the opposite. I was free flowing and didn't conform too much.
yeah,
He said to me, "What do you want to go and study?" Because we were three boys, I was the youngest, and he was prepared to pay for us for 3 years at varsity. He had money for that. So he asked me, "What do you want to go and study one day?" I said, "Well, I want to become a minister." And he says, "Well, I won't pay you to be a minister. Forget about it." So he says, what else? So I said, "Well, I wanted to become a teacher." I said, "I want to be a teacher." He says, "No, a teacher don't make money, so forget about a teacher." So what else? So I thought, well, what can I be? And I thought, oh, well, my brother's girlfriend was studying psychology. I said, oh, okay, I'll go and study psychology. He says, okay, that's fine, you know? And and
yeah,
and that was it. And but looking back at it, it was actually everything started from that point where I realized that that joy is what kept me going and pushed me all along. Finding one
yeah.
thing, moving on, helping and discovering. And so to me, it's an important factor. It's
Yes,
really
yes.
important for me. And if I don't feel I've got it within me, I haven't laughed for, I haven't laughed enough maybe for the day, or take myself too seriously, like I tend to be because I'm a lot in my head, then I just think of that inner joy and
Yeah.
I just just start
Yes,
laughing. Because
yes.
how can you be so stupid, take yourself so
Well,
seriously?
yes, it's our human experience, our human journey, our human tendencies, isn't it? Uh, no.
Yeah.
So, what then would be your top tip, or maybe your top tips for experiencing sort of more joy in daily life?
The first thing I would say is being in the moment. In other words, becoming aware of my
Yes.
breath. My breath is very important for me. Throughout the day, I check into my breathing practice, what's happening.
Yeah.
We breathe such a lot, 18 to 24,000 breaths a day. The yogis are telling us we worked with it, but how many of it is really important? And when I'm talking about breath here, I want to talk a little bit about the further aspect of breath, which is more the energy aspect of it. Right? Breath
Yeah.
is prana, is life force. So this is what I
Yeah.
want to talk about. So that's the prana. So if you haven't got that life force within you, then you're not going to find that joy. So connecting with the breath for me is one practice.
Yeah.
The other one is just to being mindful what I do. So if I wash
Yeah.
dishes and that's my job at home, I've got to wash the dishes.
Yeah.
Um, Being in the moment of feeling the water, doing it, and
Yeah.
not thinking about, oh, but I've got to send that email and I've got to do this and that. Being in the moment brings me immediately and connects me to that joy. All right.
Yes. Very nice.
But then probably one of the greatest things, which is an external thing, by the way, one of the
Yeah.
greatest
Yeah.
things that gives me the joy is watching people discovering their own joy.
Oh, very nice. Yes.
Being in that moment when you can see there's a change happening. Like if you do a
Yeah.
laughter session and people laugh and they get it, but at one stage there's that click
Yeah.
and there's this facial expression and a softening in the body taking place, and there's a I can know they just had it. They had that
Yeah.
experience, that spark of joy, even if it's for a
Yes.
moment. To me, I
Yes.
love that. You know.
Yes. Yes. So again, one the lovely things I heard you say there was the reminder that it's joy is in the moment. So if we want to connect with it, then be in the moment, and that's where mindfulness can be really helpful to help us really be aware of what it is we are doing right now. And by being in the moment, that means we're not in our head.
Of course, yeah.
So
But the
don't be
thing
in
is,
our
yeah,
head, be in the moment.
yeah, because in the moment, there's no past or future, right? We just have to be here.
Yes. Yes, yes. Fantastic. Fantastic. Martin, it's been amazing and wonderful having this. Actually, it's a long overdue conversation, really, actually.
Definitely. Definitely.
um, um, and thank you so much for taking the time for this. And and I look forward, hopefully, so one day our paths actually, crossing in person. It'll be absolutely fantastic, Martin. So thank you.
No, that will be wonderful. I think we have to put it out in the ether there that Martin and Joe wants to meet somewhere that we can laugh
Yes,
together and have a wonderful
exactly.
experience.
Exactly. Lovely, Martin. Thank you very much
Thanks,
indeed.
Joe.
Thank you
All the
then.
best.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.